Hello, welcome to the Enchanted Kingdom of Hermione. I am your Lord Chamberlain, Zip Gun, and host for today. It's a special time here at the Enchanted Kingdom because it's birthday week for the Empress. And so to celebrate birthday week here at the Enchanted Kingdom, I figured I'd do something a little bit different. Something I said I wasn't going to do, but I'm going to kind of do it for this one because it's sort of special. And that is to show you all the record that the Empress and I made together one fine day many years ago. And the idea, the backstory is, when I met the Empress now 12 years ago, we knew each other from the music scene. She was not a musician. She did collage art. She did lots of writing. Didn't play any music. I'm all music. And when we started, we didn't see each other for 27 years. We were just friends in the scene back then. And then we met again, and long story short, we fell in love and really liked each other's company, got to know each other, started to catch up with each other's past, both of which were pretty eventful. And at one point, she mentioned some therapy that she had done, experimental or whatever, cutting edge, ketamine therapy, where the participants were urged, or encouraged, I should say, to record their experiences. And part of this involved a baseball bat and a futon, I do believe. And the idea was to let it all out. And they were encouraged to record these sessions on audio tape for reasons I don't really understand, perhaps to review it later. At any rate, in the early going of our relationship, Hermione told me of this cassette recording she had, and rather timidly looked and said, "Would you like to hear it?" I thought. And bombs went off in my mind. I thought, "What is this?" And I said, "Well, what is it?" She goes, "Well, it's me basically yelling and screaming about my mother." And I went, "Can I hear this?" And so she played it for me. And it was really interesting because the first thing I thought of was, this is the greatest grindcore band ever without a band. Hermione thought that I'd take one listen to it and never want to see her again. But that wasn't the case at all. I already really liked her. I knew what I was getting into. And this was just one more facet of the jewel that was my sweetheart. So I asked her if she would mind if I added music to it, and she didn't seem to think that was a terrible idea. So one fine day, we went out to the studio, and in something like 4 hours, created this. This is, now I'm going to take it out of the shiny thing, and I'm going to hold it up here. I give you Inarticulate Rage, which is what I called this. Cheap European. There's the back cover. And this is our band that we formed January 2010. Microphonic Fool was in attendance. He can verify all of this. And essentially, I went in with the cassette and laid down a track, or laid it on tape, I should say, and then I played the drums over it in a blast beat grindcore kind of manner, which I can do. Not as good as some, but did it. Managed to break a kick drum skin, something I've never done in my life before or since. Switched to a different drum kit just because we happen to have two there, and bashed out a whole bunch of drum tracks, and then backed it up and picked up my, I don't remember which bass it was, and just played sort of spastic bass lines on top of the already crazy drumming, and then took my two crappiest guitars in the whole studio, and there's a lot of guitars to choose from, and completely detuned them so that they weren't even in tune even reasonably, and then just put them through the highest gain distortion settings I could possibly find, and just gave her on these tracks. And it was an experiment. Anyways, this is what we got.
I thought it was all the scary things, the big scary things. And now I realize it's all fucking scary things. It's all fucking brutal. It's fucking fabulous. Do that to me ever!
You get the idea. I haven't had so much fun making a record in a long time. We banged the whole thing out in 4 hours. I mixed it right then and there, which is why it doesn't really sound all that great. And then we decided we would make some copies, which we did. I think we might have made 40 of these. Gave them away to friends, and many of whom were kind of giving us funny looks afterwards. A terrific quote from Carolyn Mark to the Empress was, "I don't think I could ever look at you the same way again," which is fair enough. We found some in free bins in people's apartment buildings, which was really great. I really liked that. That was the most purest form of rejection. But we really did. Now, I know what some of you are saying. Wait a minute, Zip Gun. Aren't you the guy that says never, ever be in a band with your significant other? And, well, you would be right. In fact, it's rule number 1 in my list of rock and roll rules, of which there is no finite number. That's number 1. I know people that do it and have been successful, but I also have, I don't know, history is littered with fantastic bands that had to break up because the couple broke up. Or worse yet, they kept going even though the couple hated each other. So that's been one of my rules. I figured this is the artistic way to break it because the band broke up immediately afterwards, but the couple remained together and in love. So happy birthday, Hermione. It was just a lot of fun to make. And I'm sad that you thought this would scare me off, but I'm glad that it didn't. Thanks. Don't forget to subscribe, all that other stuff. Titanic's going down, folks. Anyway, see you soon.